Toolbox tool review. This is the OTC axle bearing set. This is it's really for trucks. I mean, you're not going to see this in a car anymore these days, unless it's a fairly old car that has a solid axle. Then you might need it for a car, but mostly for trucks. I use this F-150s, things like that. That's actually, I remember, because that was the last thing I used it on, was an F-150. So I did pinion seal, rear diff cover, 2 axle tube seals, and we did wheel bearings while I was in there. So how this works, it's just a kind of a handy thing to have. I mean, a lot of guys will take a Dremel and they'll cut the race and dig the bearing out, but that can be dangerous, right? It's got a little picture there how to use it. So here we'll let you look at the picture, but I'll tell you real quick how to use it. It's pretty simple. So you basically figure out the size that you need, and you can just set it up to it to see which one of these is going to fit inside the axle but behind a bearing, right? So you figure out which one you need. This is the one I use the most, I think. It's the most common one. But basically what you do is wind this nut back, and then you take this is going to be your puller part. So you take that and you lay it flat. And you got to get it way back too, because it's got to go through to the back of the bearing. So you lay that flat, you push it in through, let it go, and it'll naturally go back to that state. And then you wind this nut in, and then basically at that point your wheel bearing is here, right? And this tool, you can't remove this tool anymore because these 2 flats have caught the bearing. So basically you just tighten it up to where you've got this sticking out of your axle and the bearing jammed in behind it. And then take a slide hammer, put like a 5 or 10 pound slide hammer in here, and just, boom, a couple of knocks, and it'll take that bearing right out of there. Really handy. Definitely not, you don't need this. You can cut it out. And I've seen guys take big pry bars and pry them out this way, and it's kind of dangerous because if you gnar up the axle, you're going to be in some trouble. But yeah, not expensive. Again, I'll put the links and stuff in there. I don't recall that being very much money. You just got to make sure that you have the right slide hammer that'll fit it. That's pretty universal. It works great. I've never found a fault with it, and it's way safer than using a Dremel and doing all that stuff. So.